Ray Dalio once said that the biggest mistake investors make is believing today's world is unlike anything that came before, and that one idea might explain why he stayed calm while others panicked during some of the biggest financial crises in modern history. When markets crash, headlines scream disaster, and fear spreads like wildfire, most people ask, "What should I do?" Ray Dalio asks a very different question: "Where have I seen this before?" That simple shift in thinking has helped him build one of the world's most successful hedge funds and navigate decades of economic uncertainty. Most people experience a crisis emotionally before they experience it financially. They see stock prices falling, hear predictions of recession, and suddenly every decision feels urgent. But Dalio believes that panic is often the enemy of good judgment. Instead of reacting to headlines, he studies patterns. He believes economies move in cycles, just like seasons. Booms don't last forever, and neither do downturns. Every crisis, no matter how unique it seems, shares similarities with events from the past. This mindset became especially clear during the 2008 global financial crisis. While many investors were caught off guard by the collapse of the housing market and the banking system, Dalio had spent years studying historical debt cycles. He understood that excessive borrowing eventually creates instability. Rather than guessing what would happen next, he relied on principles built from centuries of economic history. His focus wasn't on predicting the future perfectly, it was on preparing for multiple possible outcomes. That brings us to one of Ray Dalio's greatest investing lessons. Don't build your financial future around certainty. Build it around resilience. He often says that if you're only prepared for one outcome, you're not really prepared at all. That's why diversification is so central to his philosophy. It's not about chasing the highest return. It's about surviving long enough to benefit from future opportunities. Another powerful lesson is separating your ego from your decisions. Dalio is famous for promoting radical transparency and radical open-mindedness. He believes the market doesn't care about your opinions. If you're wrong, the market won't reward your confidence. Instead, he encourages asking tough questions, welcoming criticism, and constantly updating your beliefs when new evidence appears. In a crisis, that humility becomes one of your greatest strengths. Perhaps the most valuable part of Dalio's thinking is his emotional discipline. During uncertain times, most people become obsessed with short-term losses. Dalio focuses on the bigger picture. He reminds himself that every market decline eventually becomes part of a much longer story. History shows that economies recover, businesses adapt, and innovation continues. The investors who stay patient often benefit the most. So how can you think more like Ray Dalio? Start by replacing fear with curiosity. Instead of asking, "Why is everything falling apart?" ask, "What can history teach me about this moment?" Build a portfolio that can weather uncertainty. Accept that you won't always be right. And remember that wealth isn't built by avoiding every storm. It's built by learning how to navigate them. The next time the headlines predict the end of the financial world, pause before reacting. The greatest investors don't see crises as the end of the story. They see them as another chapter in a cycle that has repeated for generations. And sometimes the biggest opportunities are hidden behind the loudest fears. If this lesson changed the way you think about investing, consider subscribing and sharing it with someone who wants to build lasting wealth through timeless principles rather than temporary emotions.